Hey everyone, so I'm Peter and I'm here with my friend Lisa Keller. And Lisa, what is it that you do?
I am a biblical counselor.
Yeah, and who do you work with primarily?
I do mostly couples. I do a lot of sexual issues. Either I do sex addiction or infidelity, but I also do individuals.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I wanted to bring you in here because there's the whole Ravi Zacharias controversy that's happening right now. And so I wanted to get your perspective, not only as just like a woman, but also as someone who does counseling and deals with marital issues as well as sexual issues, considering there's so much of that problem within Ravi Zacharias' ministry, the issues in his marriage, and the issues that he had with other women. So just to start it out, you and I were talking before, I don't really have that strong of a connection with Ravi Zacharias.
Right.
And you were telling me that you kind of thought he was boring a little. But you said that you did go through some of his material,
That's
right?
how I figured out he was boring.
Yeah, by trying to go through his material.
Yeah, well, we did a couple of his Bible studies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But one of the main things that I wanted to ask you is when a spiritual leader like this falls, it tends to have a really big effect on the people that were really influenced by this person. And there's a difference and distinction in how it affects people based on how much stability of their faith was in that person. So for instance, people who were new to the faith, who came to the faith through a ministry, might be more susceptible to this, or people who just never really found a footing in a ministry or a person other than that might find a lot of shaking of their faith. So like, how do you feel like someone falling from grace like Ravi Zacharias affects people in their relationship with God?
Well, like you said, I think those play a big factor, and it's me personally. I feel like if we put our faith in a person, and how close we were to them, and how much we did of studies, I feel like it has more of an impact on us. Also, our own personal relationship with the Lord has a lot to do with that as well. So if it was mostly we got all of our teaching from Ravi, then I could see how that could rock someone's faith. As I had talked to you before, if there's an idolization of that person, which we can do with our own fathers and our husbands, for women in particular, but if an individual did that with Ravi or any other strong teacher, because I would call Ravi a strong teacher.
Yeah.
And
very influential.
Yeah. And I honestly believe that he knew the Bible. Right. And so if I had put a lot of my faith in him, or if in a way I idolized him, it would be devastating.
Yeah, and you and I were talking a little bit about the idea of how this might have a different impact on a man versus a woman. Yeah. Whereas, like, for someone like me, even if I really did look up to Ravi, at best he might be an example. Some spiritual leaders like that might become like a surrogate father figure for me as a man. But for a woman, looking at male teachers or male leaders, it would be a different impact, right?
Well, I believe so, because of obviously the difference in relationship and the way that women were created. And so women were created to not necessarily, maybe to desire to lead, but really wanting a strong leader in their life. And if they haven't had that strong leader in their life, it would be easy to have that impact that Ravi did probably on many women. And that there was, as we talked about, some unmet longings in their life, and we all have unmet longings in our life, but right. It just depends at what capacity we're looking for someone else to fill it, and sometimes it's consciously and sometimes it's not.
Right.
And so I think that has a huge part to play if they have had that and desire someone to meet that what's not met in their life. As we spoke about, I mean, that happens as well with infidelity. We're looking for something, their unmet desires maybe even misdirected unmet desires, because it might not even be for that person or our spouse to fill it, but we've misdirected a legitimate desire to make it an illegitimate one, and we're trying to get this person to meet it instead of only who can, which is the Lord Jesus.
Yeah. Do you see in your counseling like a difference between men and women looking for that like father figure in their life, or is it across the board, would you say, about the same if we have bad fathers?
No, I wouldn't say men are looking for the father figure. I think they're just lost on how to be one.
Okay.
Versus a woman, I think many times, and I don't want it to be weird that we're looking for that, like somebody that we can call daddy, but it's that missing piece in our life that we have, that like what we didn't get in our childhood. Perhaps we're trying to find somebody else to meet that need for us. More so, definitely with women. I think for men, they're not looking for that. I would say that's different, though, as I talked to you about with young boys.
Yeah.
That's where they also could be victimized.
Okay.